My name is Victoria Titova. I'm CEO of Urban Bureau Big City Lab based in Kiev, and we work with education, sports, culture, and accessibility topics all over Ukraine. Our work as an office changed completely. So before the war, we were doing all the projects that were aimed to make the quality of life better. It was all about culture, public spaces, new master plans, development of the districts, etc. And when the war started, in 2022, we had about 40 projects in our portfolio to be done in 2022. So everything was stopped immediately. We barely saved the team and the core team, and we have to reinvent ourselves completely and start working with the things that are necessities and that has to keep on going because people have to keep on living. So we learned how to work with education, for example. We did a lot of projects with the Ministry of Education of Ukraine. Then we learned how to work with healthcare infrastructure, how to work with housing, and make it affordable and fast in construction. And also, before the war even, we worked with the topics of accessibility. For the initiatives of the First Lady, we also developed a few projects for her initiative, and we kept on developing that expertise. And right now, every single project we do has that essence. And as I said, even sports infrastructure that we are doing right now, we're designing the stadium and sports hub Lokomotiv for Ukrainian Railways and Howard Buffett Foundation. We still make it accessible and learn how to include adaptive sports into general facilities. We worked many years with Mariupol. We helped them to recover after the first invasion, and we made a few strategies for the city about how to develop culture, sports, small businesses. We designed a few public spaces for them. And then to see all of that being destroyed basically online in front of our eyes was very hard experience for all the team. And since 2022, we still keep working with Mariupol municipality. But right now, I work as an advisor to the mayor, and we help the city to keep its identity, to think about the future, but also to take care of people who are still alive and they're still Mariupolians. They're just displaced in other cities of Ukraine and Europe. And for example, we did a few projects with them. One of them is the vision of Mariupol. If we have a chance to occupy the city, how would we approach rebuilding it? Because it's destroyed, like 80% of the city was damaged. Then we made the project, which is called Litopis. Basically, it's the chronicles of the defending of Mariupol. And we made it with the military and all of the military groups that were included into the defending of the city, day-to-day defense of the city. It's still online, m86.city. So it was a cultural project just to fix what happened and not lose all the information and don't let it slip through the lens of Russian propaganda. And right now, we're working on how we actually can help people who are displaced. So right now, we are working with them on the project of social housing and how we create housing for Mariupolians in other cities of Ukraine and still keep that essence of Mariupol and keep the community, but also help them integrate into other cities as well. I think the biggest challenge was not to lose our minds, first of all, because you have to change drastically as a team, as an office, as the things that you do, but also you have to do that in between of evacuating your teams, helping people that you know in other municipalities because you work there, you build these relationships, and then you understand, okay, for example, Slavutych is 12 kilometers from the border with Belarus. We have to help them somehow because they happen to be in occupation and there's like lack of bread, for example, even. So you do your own work, but also you keep on working as volunteer and helping the cities that happen to be occupied or located near the battlefields. So I think it's just doing that under such amount of pressure is hard on itself, but also, for example, in 2022, 2023, lots of funds were just cut or sent to other more crucial things. And just to keep office alive, keep the team alive, make everyone financially stable, I think that was the most hard thing. We're a bit strange office. So we don't really listen to the client or a customer, what they really want, and then do the job. We usually figure out what we want to do. We have an idea, we design it, and then we look for the customer who is willing to test it with us. For example, right now we're designing therapeutic garden, and it was a really long process for us, about 6 months. It took to research, to talk with all the psychologists, psychotherapists, physical therapists, different kind of doctors, military personnel, etc., to figure out how this therapeutic garden can really work. Because we didn't want to create just a pretty garden and call it therapeutic. We wanted to really have that function. Also, we started like international experience, talked with lots of landscape architects who design this kind of spaces in EU and Britain. And right now we are designing and constructing our first pilot. And that is very exciting for us because we feel like we have to create this network of infrastructure that helps people to keep that resilience. Everybody talks about Ukrainian resilience and how great it is, but people don't really understand how demanding it is because you can't really bounce back every single time. Every next time is either easier or it can break you, because at some point everybody ends. Therefore, we're thinking how we can create this network of spaces that help people to keep their minds and bodies healthy and keep that resilience alive. It was, and it still is, a separate task to make people listen to a young female architect, because there is that judgment, it's still there. I'm 31 years old right now, and I became the CEO at 28. And every single time when we start a new project with new partner, especially if it's municipality, especially if it's construction, it's very male dominant field back then and still right now. It always take around 10 additional minutes to explain why should we listen to this girl, who she is, and why should we even bother. Since the war and since lots of men were mobilized and stopped working as architects, there's a bit more space for females, but it's not, the cultural change isn't there yet. But it doesn't really matter, because if you really want to do it, you just go in and you do it.